aware that a lot of meat sold at the grocery store was factory farmed and that a lot of produce is laden with pesticides? A large percentage of the United States population would answer no to this question. Americans have witnessed a triple and child obesity rates unfold before them in the past 3 decades. Currently, 1 in 3 children is obese. Obesity is leading to the eventual bankruptcy of the United States healthcare because people with weight issues, heart disease, and diabetes are using up the funds. Without money to fix the problem, how will the United States live on as a nation for the next 150 years? Now is the time to teach every American to fuel their body with the right types of food and to teach upcoming generations why it's important to prevent obesity. If you have ever taken a nutrition lesson in school, then you know that you need a healthy amount of carbohydrates, mono and polyunsaturated fats, fiber, vitamin, minerals, and protein to fulfill a balanced diet. A balanced diet has vegetables, fruits, high-quality proteins, different whole grains, and dairy. The average meal eaten by an American comes from a container or box from the frozen section. The animal that was killed and put in the dish was most likely treated inhumanely and fed something that is not on their natural diet. Most of the meals in the frozen section do not have vegetables because vegetables are considered disgusting by most. So instead, it's loaded with preservatives, sodium, sugar, fat, and a fattening component like cheese sauce or barbecue sauce. Our bodies were not meant to process things like sodium, sugar, preservatives, and colored dyes. Putting good food in your body is like putting the right kind of gas in your car. My parents always buy Chevron gas and say brands like Arco or Junk. The same thing applies to food. If I want to make lasagna, I will be making it with green vegetables, tomatoes, well-raised beef, all-natural cheese, and noodles. I would rather not eat Stouffer's lasagna, which says that the ingredient tomatoes is actually tomatoes, tomato paste, citric acid, and calcium chloride. If we can't trust that vegetables are truly vegetables, then imagine other foods that Americans eat daily. If you always stop to put the right kind of gas in your car, then maybe you should stop to put good food inside of you as well. You are buying chicken tonight. Do you know how and where it was raised? What was it fed? If you can confidently answer these questions without being ashamed of your chicken's past, then you are doing the right thing. If I'm going to eat chicken nuggets, I will make them from scratch myself, using free-range chicken, whole wheat breading, and olive oil. Most Americans, however, eat chicken nuggets similar to what was shown on Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, a television show that airs on ABC. Jamie did a demonstration of how chicken nuggets used to be made in Great Britain and are sometimes still made in the United States. He took chicken skin, bone, giblets, gizzard, and carcass, put it in a food processor, and blended it with stabilizers and flavorings. Then he put it through a strainer to get rid of the bits and pieces that wouldn't process smoothly. He added more stabilizers and flavors and switched it into a patty. Dip the patty in batter, fry it in a pan, and voila! You have a fluffy, disgusting piece of chicken carcass for your lunch. School cafeterias and even people at home serve chicken nuggets similar to this show. The chicken that was put in the chicken nugget was most likely treated inhumanely. Many leading chicken farmers, if you can even call them that, genetically alter their chicken with growth chemicals to make them larger. This may sound like a good idea, but the health of the chicken deteriorates so much that the chicken can barely walk by the time it is an adult. If you buy meat that is treated humanely and fed the right types of food, you will not be consuming very much fat or unhealthy growth chemicals. A Big Mac with large fries is 1,040 calories. The burger itself has 540 calories, 29 grams of fat total, and 10 grams of saturated fat. A Big Mac meal with large fries is more than half of the calories that should be consumed each day. With these gigantic portions, many Americans are eating too much fat, sodium, sugar, and too many calories. Some people don't know how to stop eating when they're full. Others will eat anything put in front of them at any time of the day, unless it has vegetables. This leads me back to Jamie Oliver's chicken nugget demonstration. Jamie performed his demonstration for a group of children in the United States. They were revolted at the sight of the chicken carcass. Jamie thought that them seeing what is in their food would make them care about what they're eating. After all, it had worked on many children that had seen the same demonstration in Great Britain. Yet when he asked them, "Knowing what's in this chicken nugget, will you eat one of these right now?" they all answered, "Yes." Their reasoning was, "Well, we'll eat it because we're hungry." Those kids were also shown a large basket of vegetables. Each vegetable was held up individually, and Jamie asked them what each one is called. When a tomato was presented, they were all confused confused and disgusted. One child predicted it was a potato, and another thought it was an onion. If these unhealthy, illogical habits start in early childhood, then don't you think that we as a nation need to start changing our diet? Now, you have all hopefully learned what Americans are doing to hurt their health. Yet, if you put 20 fourth graders in front of me and I taught them a nutrition lesson, it would be unlikely for any of them to go home and transform their diet. If I showed them the benefits of eating healthy and the harmful, fatal effects of obesity, I could potentially watch all of them go home and put themselves on a diet of healthy foods. Problems that can arise from childhood and teen obesity are cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, abnormal glucose tolerance, sleep apnea, asthma, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and of course, name-calling for being fat. The worst part of this is the climbing rates of these problems. At this rate of increase in obesity, 1 in 3 children born in or after 2000 will be affected by diabetes at some time in their lives. Adults are affected too. Adults that are obese and have problems like cardiovascular disease and diabetes have a much smaller chance of living up to the average life expectancy, whereas adults that eat healthful, natural foods and that exercise are stronger and have a much better chance of living up to the average life expectancy. Kids must see the harmful, fatal effects of obesity to truly understand its severity. Now is the time for Americans to buy healthy ingredients, eat healthy foods, understand where their food comes from and why it affects your body. Salty, fatty foods need not be commonplace anymore in the average American diet. Instead, organic and fresh ingredients should take their place. By changing the way this country eats, millions of children that would die at the age of 60 can add 15 years back to their life just by losing weight and eating healthy food. Is it not true that we all aspire to be lifesavers? By